Hello everyone, my name is Lisa Gehring and I am the 712 principal for USD 270 in Plainville, Kansas. We are located in northwest Kansas, just 23 miles north of Hays and Fort Hays State University. As principal of Plainville Junior Senior High School, I want to help my staff understand where we are so we can figure out how to get where we want to be. So this is our story. The mission of USD 270, through the cooperation of students, staff, parents, patrons, and the Board of Education, is to provide educational opportunities in a safe environment and to promote lifelong learning skills. USD 270 adopted student outcomes as well. Student outcome number 1 is Plainville students will be respectful. Student outcome number 2, Plainville students will be responsible. Student outcome number 3, Plainville students will be reliable. Student outcome number 4, Plainville students will be resilient. Student outcome number 5, Plainville students will be resourceful. And student outcome number 6, Plainville students will be ready. So who are we? Well, we are a 2A school district, and we have 353 students in our district, and I have 194 students in my 7 through 12 building. Our students are predominantly Caucasian, and we do not have an ELL population. Approximately 41% of our students are classified as economically disadvantaged, and we have a minimal dropout rate. As noted on the Kansas report card on the KSDE website, a little over 50% of our student population is female, and a little over 49% are male. Let's take a look at our student achievement. Looking at the 2016 Kansas assessment results, roughly 35% of our students scored in the top 2 categories for math as a district, which is just below the state average. When I looked a little deeper, this was only 10% of our high school students. Just under 33% of our districts scored in the top 2% in ELA, which is approximately 8% below the state average of 41%. When I looked at just our high school, this was 45% of our high schools scored in the top 2 categories in ELA, though, which was above the state average of 31%. Let's take a look at the ACT scores. In 2015, our ACT average tied with the state average of 21.9%. However, in 2016, our district average of 20.5 was just below the state average of 21.8. Now let's take a look at our attendance rate. In 2015, our attendance rate was just 89.6%, which was below the state average of 94.8%. In 2016, our attendance rate was 90.2%, which was still below the state average of 95%. Our attendance rate became an issue for me after I finished my first year at Plainville. At the end of the year, I prepared a report for our superintendent. Some of our students had missed more than 20 days of school that year. When I reviewed our student handbook policy, it stated that our students basically had an unlimited amount of days they could miss as long as a parent called in or if the student had a doctor's note. According to the policy, it was only if a student had more than 8 days of unexcused absence that it became a problem. This policy also conflicted with the state statute regarding truancy, so I knew it was a problem. These students were able to have 8 days a semester of unexcused absence before we did anything. So I visited with my staff, and together we put together a new policy, and I proposed the change to our school board for the new upcoming student handbook for the following year. Our new policy centered around 8 total days of absence during a semester, regardless of the reason. In addition, I put together an attendance rewards program. The Attendance Rewards Program was an effort to reward students for good attendance rather than focusing on the negative. So the policy goes like this. Students who have missed one day or less for the quarter will be given the opportunity to go out and eat at an area restaurant as a group with the principal. Students will be given 45 minutes for lunch. The district will provide transportation to and from the restaurant, and the student will be responsible for the cost of the meal. A drawing for gift certificates to be used to pay for the meal will be held at the end of the quarter for all students who have met the attendance reward requirements. I partnered with a local restaurant and we kicked off the program. As you can see in the first chart, 2013-2014 was before we began the program. Our quarter one, the students who would have qualified with one day or less of absence in quarter one was 60, quarter two 58, quarter three 59, and quarter four 70 students. In 2015, we kicked off the program and started promoting good attendance. As you can see, our students who qualified for the program went up each quarter compared to the previous year, with the exception of the third quarter. Now if you come down and take a look at 2015-16, after the program had been in place for 2 years, we had double the students who qualified for the attendance reward, who had qualified for the program compared to when we did not have the program in 2013. This year, our quarter one attendance reward lunch program was at an all-time high. We had 129 students who qualified. Quarter two, we dropped off a little bit because we had some sickness, but overall, we can see that the program has been working for us. This is just one area where we will continue to evaluate our effort. We believe that good attendance will help in all of the other areas when it comes to school improvement. Thank you.